Hey everybody, we're going to talk about jewelweed today. It's a Tuesday, feels like a Monday. I'm here though, and it's hopefully Thursday for you. It would be great if everybody watched on the day it came out, but just hopes and wishes. um, so we're going to be talking about jewelweed today. Impatiens capensis. Capensis. I had to look it up. And I'll put that right here. That is the botanical term is Impatient capensis. And then there's a Impatient pilatus, and there's also more. But we're going to mostly be talking about just the Impatient capensis because that is the one that has the most medicinal qualities that people look for when they think of jewelweed. And so we're going to talk about things like we do, because we do this every week. It's scientifically known as Impatient capensis. It's an annual native plant in North America, commonly found in moist areas. The capensis one, it has bright orange flowers. They're like super, super pretty. Um, they're very striking up against the green foliage that it has, and usually grows along creeks, rivers, anywhere that's really moist. We have it in multiple places on my yard, so I love having it in my yard, just naturally. It's exciting. And I discovered it actually from a friend of mine quite a few years ago. She makes soaps and she makes salves. She's made shampoos, although she doesn't do that anymore. And she quilts and she sews and she embroiders. She is extremely talented and she sells all her stuff. And she's actually really good at even at the marketing things and stuff like that. But our area is a little pretentious with that kind of stuff. But it's really nice that she actually knows the stuff that I talk about. So her and I have conversations about things. And she introduced me to Jewelweed. And just as a salve, she's like, this will get rid of any skin irritation that you're having, any itch. It's really good for poison ivy. And I'm like, okay, let me look into this. And then within like a year, all of a sudden it's all over my yard. This is cool. So I am going to be making some jewelry salve this year because I have multiple people that I see that could benefit from it and they don't know what it is or have it or anything. So I'm going to be making some jewelweed salve for myself and for others. So let's see here. So as I said, jewelweed is used for treating skin irritations, specifically like poison oak, sumac, and ivy. But it does, for every single skin irritation. Have you got eczema? Eczema. Eczema? God, what is wrong with me? Anyway, um, it's great for skin. So, Impatiens is the genus of plants in the family Balsamicaceae. I can't pronounce these words. Basically the balsamic, balsam, balsamic. Go ahead, laugh. It's fine. I don't care. Like balsam pines, balsam trees, balsam. They're in the impatient family and the balsam family. Okay. It's also called touch me nots, and they get that name from when their seed pods are ready, or when they grow their seed pods. You walk past, or you brush past it, or just randomly sometimes. I'll be sitting in my yard and go, bing, like, oh, there goes the impatiens, touch me nots. So it's super fun because you ever seen the impatiens that people grow in their gardens? They're very hardy in like moist soil because I had a really one place that I lived at when I lived down in Virginia. My flower bed in my rental was super moist all the time, like because the gutter, they were going to be demolishing the house, so they didn't fix anything. So the gutter would just pour out into the flower bed. Impatiens were the only things that grew in there. And it's cool because you go up and you touch the little seed pod and it sprays them everywhere. It's super cool. I don't know, as a kid, I enjoy it. I'm weird like that, but I don't know. If you're weird like me, let me know. So they have the other species is the impatient pallida. Pallida? But these are not as medicinal. They kind of do have the medicinal qualities, but the impatient capensis is the most medicinal of all of them. And you can use the leaves, the flowers, the stem, the roots, everything. So like just, and it's in moist soil, so it's like super easy. You just go and grab the plant and you just pull it up, boom, the whole thing's there. And then you just compress it all and kind of smush it all into a jar and then add your oil over it. My preferences for oils fall under like olive oil and avocado oil, never a seed oil. Avocado oil is not a seed oil. It does not come from the seed. It doesn't. There's videos on that. I found out because I was curious, so I looked it up. It's not like I've known this for forever. But then there's also other varieties of jewelweed, and they fall in other species, and they're not medicinal in this way. Only the impatient capensis, which is orange. It's the only orange one, so it's perfect and easy. The Pallida one is yellow and slightly bigger flower, and the other ones are like a pinkish, purplish color. But orange jewelweed is what you want. Boop. So it's a flowering plant that grows only in the United States. It can be planted other places. It's not like it's not useful. It usually blooms from June till the fall. Um, Mine have not come out yet. I mean, the leaves are there, but not the flowers. But it is only kind of, we're halfway through June. So it's also called spotted jewelweed, spotted touch-me-nots. It can be more than 3 feet tall and has like the tender oval-shaped leaves, and they've got like little ribs on the outside of the leaves. There's multiple websites that say different things. It is most commonly known as an annual, but it super reseeds itself. This one says it's a perennial. I guess it's really kind of, I don't know. Look it up for yourself. That's one thing I didn't do my, what's it called? My disclaimers. I'm not a doctor. I am an herbalist, and I encourage everybody to do their own research. It is imperative. I even provide you with a lot of links in the description. And I actually included, just before I forget, I included 2 extra links in the description that has recipes. of how we can use different ways we can utilize the plant for our benefits. It's also used in culinary as well. You can eat them. There is a specific way you have to prepare them. It's like basically you boil them in water for 10 minutes and then you dump out the water. You straighten out the water and then you reboil it again for another 10 minutes because they have a lot of oxalates in there that it's actually really not beneficial to our bodies. Like if you're gonna just sit there, pull one off and eat it, it's not gonna hurt you. But like if you're gonna be eating it all the time, every single day, you need to prepare a certain way. It's the oxalates that are not good for our bodies. But it produces a shiny green seed pod, which split open when they are ripe and expel their seeds. It's not toxic to humans or animals. It grows in forests, in low flood-prone areas along rivers and around forest edges or marshes. Jewelweed also colonizes disturbed habitats such as ditches and roadsides. It does. So we're going to go into some constituents here. Root cultures of jewelweed were shown to contain the naphthoquinone and lawsone. This compound is also found in henna, which is used in the Middle East to treat dermatitis and fungal infections. Lawsone, along with anthraquinone, another compound found in the root cultures, have both been shown to be inhibitory to human colon carcinoma cell growth in cultures. So basically it's saying that it can kill cancer cells. It specifically was tested on the colon carcinoma. But come on, that's cancer. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. It's supposed to help. These compounds, along with other related compounds, block cell division in the S phase. Now, if you're a scientist, you probably know what that means. And then the rest of us, oh, it's in one of the links that I provided below if you want to go look into it more. It is the article referenced a lot of studies, so you'd have to go look at them specifically. So another compound found in the same root culture study was spinesterol. This compound, when isolated from squash flowers, was shown to have great anti-carcinogenicity potential when tested using the mouse skin tumor. It was already known to be an anti-mutagenic. It helps our cells not mutate incorrectly. It also inhibits cholesterol absorption and production of bile acids in laboratory mice. There's also coumarin derivatives, which is a scopolamine. They isolated that from root cultures as well and enhanced eosinophil activation, causing the release of hydrogen peroxide. A second coumarin derivative, isofraxtin, acted as a sedative. So it's got a lot of constituents to it that basically will help with cancer. It will help with cholesterol absorption and sedatives. I don't understand the hydrogen peroxide one. I sound like an idiot today. Not just having issues with enunciation. So it is has high potentials for treating breast and testicular cancers. It contains testosterone. Um, the compound was previously synthesized, but it was then isolated from a natural source, and it had the ability. I'm trying to put these in lay terms. It had the ability to block intracellular metabolism of testosterone and inhibit the growth of prostate issues, like the prostate, so it stays the normal size, and then also it keeps any cells from mutating into cancerous cells. But you can read all that in the articles. I don't remember which article it was, but they're all pretty relatively short because there's not really a ton on Jewelweed. It really isn't. I mean, it has very finite usage and benefits that is super helpful. So, but you can eat the seeds too. Apparently, they taste like walnuts. I would not know. I cannot have walnuts. It's the only nut I can't have. I don't understand why. But apparently, they taste like walnuts and they can be safely consumed in a summer salad, or you can add it to a stir fry. You can eat every part of the plant: the stem, the leaves, the flowers, the seeds. I don't know if I'd eat the roots. It's not probably necessary because you can use them for other things. But it can have a laxative effect if you have too much of it. And the high oxalate content means you can't eat a ton of it. You can have it. Don't eat a ton of it because it can cause kidney stones. But here's the funny thing. In lower doses, like in a non-high dose, basically, just anything other than a high dose, like a normal dose, it can prevent kidney stones. But if you have too much of it, it can cause them. Nature, we can't really determine why sometimes. So we talked about how they're edible. It's for the. I was talking about how to prepare them if you're going to cook them for like a consistent eating. Boil it for 10 to 12 minutes. Change the water at least twice to remove some of the oxalic acid. So it kind of ends up being more like a spinach, if you will, just with different properties. But if you also use the sap from the leaves and the stem, that has been specifically known to like cure conditions like athlete's foot. It's antifungal, antibacterial, antioxidant. Because everything pretty much is doable, and therefore it's also anti-inflammatory because all plants are. So if you take jewelweed, if you're like out in the woods and you run into any sort of poison ivy, poison oak, all those skin irritants out there in the woods, because it's the woods, you basically make a jewelweed mash. Like you can mash it up because it's a very moist plant. So you can mash it up with your hands if you want to, or you can mash it up in your mouth. It's not going to hurt you either way. So it's antifungal, anti-itching, anti-mutagen, sedative, antibacterial. It's not like a high sedative at all. It's very minor. Antibacterial. So basically you'd mash it up and then you just put it on the affected area and it would help alleviate any of the discomfort that the irritant plant caused. It's a very soothing and effective antidote for poison ivy, and I think it's most used aspect of it. in the fact that it's antifungal and antibacterial and antimicrobial antis. It's just how it's not bad for us in any way. It'll treat dermatitis, bug bites, stings, cure athlete's foot, minor burns, swelling around bruises, joint pain, inflammation, and it promotes steady blood flow after childbirth. And I guess it will also um, pull out any sort of poisoning, like if you get fish, mercury poisoning. It says poisoning from fish. I don't know. I guess it would help pull out the toxins, antioxidant. So if you rub freshly picked and crushed jewelweed directly onto the skin after a bug bite or a sting, or coming into contact with poison ivy, poison oak, or poison sumac, the sense of relief comes almost instantly. You could make a salve or a wound wash out of the fresh or dried leaves. Now, I will warn you, it is not easy to dry. It will mold before it actually dries if you do like an air dryer or something like that. You have to actually put it in a dehydrator, freeze dryer, or some sort of like stable temperature to be able to dry this plant because it is so moist. But using it fresh is 100% fine. There's no problems with it. You can maintain a jewelweed wash or poultice, and it'll either stop or reduce the symptoms with any sort of topical allergy reaction, whether it be to plants, animals, insects, whatever. The essential oil is what is the active component and has all those other constituents to it. It does interact with lithium. That is the only medication pharmaceutical interaction that there is. So it'll basically make it so that your body doesn't get rid of the lithium correctly so that you could become toxic from the lithium. If you don't take pharmaceuticals, guess what? You can have jewelry just fine. There is no actual dosage. Just if you start not feeling good, don't have it anymore. I don't know how to explain it. There's not really a dose because usually it's in like salve form or oils or the plant straight itself. You pull it off out of the ground, just put it on there. There's not really a dosage because it is very specific usage. But it is a pretty plant. I have it all over my property. If you're interested in any salve, basically, because I'm going to be making it as soon as those flowers come up. Like you can forage it ahead of time. You can just use the leaves because those are extremely medicinal as well. But I always wait until the flowers come up so that I have no problems with any sort of identification. I don't have any problems with knowing whether or not it's going to be potent because when the flowers are out is when it's most potent. But you can harvest it any time as long as it's alive. And it'll come back every single year because those fun seed pods, whoosh, it's fun. Because I always was like, hey, let's stand here. And it would right in my kid's face because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, don't worry. I did it when they were little. They're not scarred. They're not. Thank you so much for being here with me today and learning with me. The request was Jewelweed for this week, so I got it done. And I appreciate you being here and especially sticking around until the end. It is very, very, very grateful. Check out our Facebook page, The Herbalist Garden. and we're growing over there. Not as fast as we were, but it's okay because it's work, and it's work I enjoy though. Just like this, work I enjoy. Um, yeah, having a good time here, learning more things. Okay, so next week we have the option for cleavers, garlic, or self heal or heal all, whichever one you want to call it. Those are the three options for next week. Let me know down below what you want to learn about because I can do a lot. As I said, I never run out of options, but it's nice to know if you guys are interested specifically in them. Thank you again for learning with me. I appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.